Welcome to Nerds Amalgamated, a podcast that covers the latest events in science, pop culture, and gaming.
I'm the professor, aspiring game developer, sci-fi aficionado, and completely and undeniably a geek trying to take over the world. I'll be breaking down the news from tech to gaming.
I am the DJ, a humble nerd, a big weeb,
and a watcher from the halls of the multiverse.
Just kidding. Anyways, I'll be breaking down all things comics to movies to anime.
Join us and stay hydrated as we quench you with witty banter, unintentionally hilarious hot takes, and trivia more fun than a night at the pub, courtesy of Nerds Amalgamated. Welcome back to Nerds Amalgamated. This week we're talking about how COD isn't getting any sales, why you shouldn't aim for the stars, and YouTuber movies. And we're joined by the other guy this week.
Hello again.
Yeah, after how long?
It has been a minute. My boy band hiatus has come to an end.
Yeah.
Boy band.
Is that what we are?
I guess
Is
if
that
you
what's
want to
happening
be.
No, I have no
I'll play
idea what's
accordion.
happening. I'm just thinking of Coldplay. That's it.
NSYNC is coming back, boys. Just we'll wait for it to happen.
Oh my god.
I thought
We are the
Backstreet was
tribute.
back.
Shit.
Anyway, our first topic this week. Call of Duty is no longer selling Modern Warfare 4, as in the new Modern Warfare 4, not the original Modern Warfare 4, which gets abbreviated to MW4. And when I first saw someone say MW whatever number was my favorite game growing up, I thought, hey, Mech Warrior fans, I found my people. I was wrong. Anyway, Modern Warfare 4, the new one, is not being sold on PS4 and Xbox One, although it is being sold on Switch 2. So we're seeing them go from the massive install base of the PS4 and Xbox One to only selling on the Xbox Series and PlayStation 5 and Switch 2. And the analysts have decided that that means that the potential market for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 has shrunk by 4.3%.
So what was its original value?
So there's a quote here, or a section here from quoting Neil Barbour from S&P, an analyst firm, who says that the global install base of consoles is 147.5 million for consoles that will support Modern Warfare 4, which is
Wow.
down 5.6% from the potential audience for Black Ops 7, which itself underperformed. Meanwhile, we're seeing fewer sales of PlayStations and Xboxes. And the price of them is increasing because, of course it is, with the chip shortages and all that going on.
Uh-huh.
It's the first time in a long time the price of a console has gone up during its lifetime.
One has to wonder though, with both of them having these price hikes, is this a sign of confidence in their platform or a quiet admission that next gen adoption has stalled?
Well, consoles are already generally sold at about the price it costs to make them. That's how they undercut PCs and they undercut each other. And the idea is that you'll buy a console and then buy games and be buying games on that console. So I'd say if they were lowering prices or keeping them the same, they'd be admitting that it's not growing as fast as they'd like. But instead, they're raising prices.
Yeah. What are you guys'
And-
thoughts on the up and coming instead of a AAA game, the 4A game, the future of gaming becoming $80 to $100 a pop?
Oh,
We're already well into that in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
If I pull up Steam and check the front page of Steam,
At this rate, I'm wondering how much GTA 6 is going to come out to be
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's gonna be the
the benchmark.
yeah. They were worried that the latest Mario game was gonna do that for Nintendo games. I mean, it kind of has.
yeah, I can't actually see any brand new AAA games at the moment, but they've been well into the $100 mark in Australia for a couple of years now.
Well, what about Crimson Desert and what about Crimson Desert? How much is that going?
Well,
on
that's more
Steam?
of I would have said that was a AA game, but it's $110.
Wow. I am curious to wonder though, how did the S&P arrive to that conclusion? Like, what assumptions were baked into that into that number?
It's based on the number of Xboxes that have sold, and the number of PlayStations that have sold, and the number of Switch 2s that have sold. And they compare that to the number of Xbox Ones and the number of PlayStation 4s, and see that the number is smaller.
Okay.
It's simple maths, DJ. But yeah, the weird decision is that they dropped the old gen consoles, which are still a huge install base according to S&P,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and then decided they were going to release on Switch 2, which is already lower power than the traditional consoles. So they're already making a lower end version of the game for the Switch 2. Is there a reason they couldn't release that on the Xbox One or the Xbox Series? Sorry, PlayStation 4, instead of just on the Xbox Series and the PS5? And Microsoft, we will never forgive you for picking such a stupid name as the Xbox Series.
I think it comes down to like Nintendo market is coming up high. So let's bank onto their current meteoric rise as it is. So
Well, I think that's not correct. Part of the reason they released on Switch 2 is because it was part of their anti monopoly deal that they made when Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard.
yeah, yeah, for an
So,
insane amount of money.
yeah. So, while they're consolidating all these companies, they had to make a deal that they would release on platforms they don't control. And switching to the newer consoles, the current gen consoles, would mean that they'd have more performance to work with. On the other hand, I don't think there's nearly as much of a generational jump between the PS4 and Xbox One and the current gen as there was between older generations of console. And if they're going to release on PC eventually, they're going to have to look at meeting the requirements of the sort of bare minimum, because that's the sort of game COD is. It's not like Crisis. They don't try to push the performance with.
You
They
can
want
melt your
to,
computer.
yeah, it's not going to melt your computer. They want to get as many people playing as they can, so they don't necessarily make it the most performance eating game there is.
Yeah, but then you got your hardware price hikes that will surely put off a lot of COD players.
Yeah. So last year the price of Xbox has increased twice, and this
Wow,
year the PS5 has increased once so far.
what the hell?
Well, they have to keep up with the price of chips.
Yeah, I see that. I see it. Yeah,
I
but then
built a
you lose your.
NAS in October last year, and I was looking at getting some more SSDs to put in it. And the price of them has gone up 2 to 3 times, depending on the exact model. And I just feel like crying because I don't know when this is going to end and when there's going to be affordable computer parts again.
Uh,
And then the RAM in my PC is dying, so that's fun.
the
I
the sad.
literally have a bit in my boot options disabling a segment of RAM because that's
Oh,
the only way to get my computer stable.
damn. But with the with the console prices being raised up, uh, and your install base already stagnating, this is the kind of decision that accelerates the decline of console gaming as the dominant platform. I mean, whenever we get like a Call of Duty game coming out, it's a national holiday. Come on, let's admit it. Whenever Call of Duty comes out, it's a public holiday. Everybody takes a day off or a week off and go, yeah, I'm gonna play this game to my heart's content.
Yeah, I see two ways that's going to go.
Hmm.
Phones, which are hugely popular in China and India, and game streaming.
Oh
I
boy.
don't like either of them.
Nope, neither do I. So does that mean the entire console market is in trouble at this point?
I think the entire home computing industry is in trouble.
Oh, there goes my PC. I
Yeah,
don't.
I think if the price stays high for too long, people are going to stop building PCs. If the cost of consoles goes up too far, people are going to stop buying consoles. It's making gaming more of a luxury product than it already is. And the two options I see to get out of the high prices are phone gaming, because everyone has a phone, and in India and China, that's already hugely popular. They release games like PUBG on the mobile. PUBG and COD have both had mobile releases. Actually, that reminds me, way back in 2010, playing COD Zombies on my iPod Touch. So yeah, there've been mobile versions of FPS games and stuff for decades now.
And
Yeah.
here's the other problem when you introducing mobile phones into the gaming sphere. Do you guys ever remember Diablo Immortal and how much of a colossal fuck up that was?
Yeah, that was the time they announced the new Diablo game.
Yep.
Oh wait, it's a phone game. Boo! Wait, don't you guys have phones?
And people just went absolutely nuts on those guys.
Yeah, I think there was a few factors going into that. Is that
Mm.
they'd hyped everyone up for a new Diablo game, which traditionally been a PC, and I think Diablo 3 released on consoles. So it had traditionally been a big screen experience. Then they announced a mobile game, which at the time had in the West had a very poor reputation as being peddlers of microtransactions.
Oof.
And so they'd hyped everyone up expecting Diablo 4 and announced a mobile game with microtransactions. No wonder they got booed. If they'd announced Diablo 4 that day, I think it
Oh,
would have gone much better.
oh yeah.
But Diablo 4 probably wasn't ready for announcement yet.
If they ever go to the mobile gaming side of things, right? My concern would be, imagine you are playing on your phone, and all of a sudden your phone starts going, "Hey, you need to upgrade your phone to play this game." Like how some consoles would go like, "You need to upgrade your console to get to play this game."
They've done that for a while. It's yeah, once your phone gets old enough, it stops being supported by app developers.
Yeah, and
So when you're developing an Android app, you target a particular version of Android as your bare minimum. And as time goes by, they stop bothering to support older versions because nobody uses them. And they're also trying to push you to buy a newer phone.
Yeah.
so, at what point does a streaming install base becomes a genuine commercial risk? At what point? Because this install base, like, because they're all like hardcore gamers, and they're all going like, "Yeah, I am not liking this whole thing, direction
I
that the
think
series is
it
going."
ultimately depends on the expectations of Activision Blizzard.
Hmm.
Are they expecting to sell more copies than they sold last time? They probably won't. So if they can be okay with not making all the money, then they'd probably be okay with it. They might be having some internal discussion about dropping support for the last gen consoles, and that might be because they just consider them too old and they want to push the limits of the hardware rather than support an older console. But
Yeah,
now that they're owned by Microsoft, I do also wonder if part of that isn't to push Xbox Series sales.
that would be a hard ask. That would be a very hard ask. Although it makes you wonder, though, is Microsoft's commitment to keeping COD on Nintendo platforms actually a regulatory obligation dressed up as consumer generosity? And does that change how we should read this entire story?
Yeah, there's no way they're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. They're doing it to sell games.
It's like, but I still have dollar signs in my eyes, guys. I'm still wanna I'm with you guys. I'm with you, gamers. Just ignore the dollar signs in my eyes. But with the other guy, with what you were mentioning with the game prices, it's going to be interesting how with the newest Modern Warfare 4, if it goes down to like if it goes up to $90 or maybe $100, that's going to be wild.
You see, on that note, like I know quite a lot of Gen Zers, and most of these Zoomers, they mainly game over the phone or like their iPads.
Oh
Like a lot
damn!
of them just can't be asked, like getting a full-on console, buying games, just way too much commitment. They just stick to the free stuff on the small screen these days.
Oh my god,
And it's
Professor! Oh my
We're a
god!
dying breed.
Oh
We're going
no!
extinct.
Oh no! What have I done?
Yeah, like I've spoken to a few people who have recently started RuneScaping with me, and I'm the only one who uses a PC for the setup. Most of them just use mobile because it's just
Oh,
so much more convenient.
oh shit.
That's wild to me because I remember
Yep.
traveling in the 2000s and only being able to play RuneScape in places that had strong enough phone signal. And now you just play it on your phone instead of having a computer.
Yeah, and like to some degree, like they've kind of made it easier to play on the phone than it is to play on PC. We live in another time, my lads.
Oh man. Okay, that said though, like when you play it on phone, does this we're gonna see, I mean Ross Scott's doing the whole stop killing games movement and trying to kill off the live service model. Are we seeing a resurgence of the live service model at this stage? Because I hope to God we're not seeing a. I'm because I hope to God we're not going to see another live service model of this.
Yeah, gee.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see if Stop Killing Games ends up being applied to mobile games.
Oh,
Which actually, I think mobile games are even worse preserved than
like
modern games. Well,
yeah,
sorry, not modern. Console games and PC games. There's a lot of older iOS games that you just can't play anymore because they're no longer supported by the latest version of iOS, and you can't see them on the store even if you have an old device.
yeah. You gotta either torrent that shit or go to places like Softonic, the old you want to find old installation files.
Yeah, those dodgy sites.
Yeah.
Which a year or two ago I was trying to revive an old iPad that my parents used. It was a iPad 2 or 3, I think, so from 2012 maybe. Anyway, well, it's for my grandparents before they passed away, so that we could video call them. But I was trying to revive it and get it to do something useful because there's basically no apps that are available. And I'll be honest, when I was in high school, I knew where to get apps for my iPod Touch. I have no idea where you get them in. All the sources seem to have gone away.
Damn.
So, next topic is why you shouldn't aim for the stars, because being just above average is more likely than being super successful.
Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But that's like the law of average, right?
Yeah,
Statistically, you are much more likely to be average than anything else.
Yeah.
yes, but in this case, some researchers created a model that shows that you're more likely to have a better outcome when you're not too ambitious. So,
And you're
people
not
say
too
aim for the
ambitious.
stars or aim for the moon and, aim for the very best you possibly can. But you're more likely to have a better outcome if you're just aiming for something realistic.
Like, what's the metric here? Is this happiness? Is this like earnings per year?
Uh, it's a bunch of things. So things like salary. The article says salary, which flat to rent, whether you should park in the first parking spot you find or hold out for a better one. So it can be applied to pretty much anything.
Oh yeah. So should I go for the parking spot in front of me or should I hold out?
I
Trying to get
think,
the
yeah, I think based on the model, you'd be best taking the parking spot you find rather than hoping you find one next to
yeah,
the doors.
yeah, makes sense.
Okay, does the model actually tell you how much above average to aim? Like, is there a specific number or is it just a vague term?
Um,
It's got that Gen Z nihilism to it, doesn't it? It's like, fuck it, we're not gonna make it anyway. The planet's on fire. Why bother?
yeah, it does a bit.
Yeah.
But I don't see a strict number. That doesn't mean there isn't one. Um, but one of the examples that they based their research on was that fishing boats perform best when fisheries perform best when boats stop searching for more fish once they reach higher than average catches.
Yeah,
Huh. Okay.
So for this model, you have an agent who is a person with a goal and a threshold for what would satisfy them. So, 70% of what they want. And they played around with the thresholds and the offers. So one example they gave is that a model would be hunting for a job. The agent, sorry, would be hunting for a job with a salary, rejecting any that are below their threshold and accepting those that are above the threshold. And they played around with that a bit and figured out that the optimal satisfaction comes from being a bit above average, but not excessively so. if your threshold is far above the mean reward, you're going to be worse on average than an agent that is under ambitious by the same margin.
Oh, so does this apply differently depending on the types? Like, say, someone naturally risk averse versus a chronic overachiever?
I think it would. I think, yeah, philosophically, you look at this and think, okay, I'll aim for 70% of what I want rather than 100%. And I think someone with a risk averse personality might be willing to go down to, say, 50% of their goal.
Ah,
See, I would have thought it would have gone the other way. A risk averse person would want to go slightly higher just in case they risk on the dissatisfaction.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on the exact scenario
Type
that
of
you're
person.
modeling.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
here is a number actually. So a study of runners in US marathons showed that asking runners to provide a goal prior to the race improved their performance compared to runners who weren't asked to provide a goal. And the advantage was equivalent to a 13.5% increase in training, or being 9 years younger for a 42-year-old runner. So, yeah, you don't just go into the marathon and say, I want to be the fastest marathoner. You go in and say, I want to do it in 4 hours, or however long a marathon takes.
Yeah.
And so then you would say, you would consider your goal to be do it in 4 hours, but your threshold might be completed in 4.5. You'll still perform better than someone who wasn't setting a realistic goal like that.
Yeah.
what's going to be
Just on
interesting?
the just on the point of marathoning, did you guys hear that we broke the sub 2 hours marathon in the UK earlier this year?
No.
Well, funnily enough, there were two news stories to come out of that because we broke it twice. So the guy who made it second was also sub 200, but he didn't win the marathon, and his name is going to be forgotten from history. So yeah,
Yeah,
you
I've
might
always
be
wondered
right.
that. Like at the Olympics, if you win the race and break a record one day, no one's going to remember you if someone breaks the record the next day. So it must be
Yep.
even worse if someone beats you in the same race.
Yeah, or like two people break like the record. He just broke it a little bit better than you.
Yeah, that would suck.
Uh-huh. It's like, oh, that's painful. That would be painful.
Yeah.
What's wild about this though is that ever since we were kids, we've always been taught shoot for the moon, shoot for the moon, reach for the stars, the sky is the limit. Every sort of message known to man, okay, from social media to self help books. If the math says that this advice is harmful, should we be rethinking about how we motivate people, especially young people, now that we've got the science?
I mean, it's pretty hard for you to tell your kid to just, be average. It's just asking them to vibe out. I mean, if you're not forced into doing things, a lot of people just don't bother doing it. It's the path
Yeah.
of least resistance, right?
What it does remind me of is something I was taught about beginning in high school, but has come up weirdly often. Is SMART goals, where you set they've got to be specific. I'm gonna have to look this up 1 second.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
Yeah. So I guess this model is a something you plug into your smart goal to determine what your specific and measurable goal should be. And that would fall under the achievable part. Like I can't say I want to be an astronaut and call that a smart goal because it's specific, it's measurable,
Huh?
but it's not achievable.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna be hilarious now? Now when you think about it, all the influences you see on social media and all the self help group books you see on bookshelves everywhere. I hope this will make them all invalid because of the mat because the science says otherwise.
Yep, time for a new edition.
Yeah, the other crazy part about this is Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and most celebrated entrepreneurs are the textbook people that shoot for the moon types, and they succeeded spectacularly. Okay, let's not mince words. Doesn't survivorship bias completely undermine your model's real world application?
I don't think survivorship bias affects this model because they've modeled agents that have different thresholds.
Okay. I'm also wondering if imagine if a PhD student comes to you and said, I've read your paper and I've decided to aim for above average research rather than groundbreaking work. Would you be proud of this statement or quietly horrified?"
Good question. One of them is applying what you've learned, so that would feel, I guess. One of them is encouraging them to do the best they can. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, how about this? I'll put it in both of your worlds, okay? Let's say you're a game developer. Say if a game developer student came to you and said, "I've read your paper, decided to aim for above average gaming, above average game rather than groundbreaking game." Would you be proud or quietly horrified?
I would be I don't know because I see game development as more of an art.
Yeah,
So it's the sort of thing where you sit down with the goal of creating art. And I think sitting down and saying I want to make the best selling game ever perverts that. So it would depend on what exactly the goal is. I would rather see more indie games that are groundbreaking
yeah.
than more multi-million dollar AAA games.
Okay, other guy, I got one. Okay, how about in your in the same scenario, but let's say you're a doctor and a med student comes to you and says, "I've read your paper and I've decided to aim for above average medical work rather than groundbreaking medical work." Would you
You
be
mean
proud of?
average medical work?
Yeah, above average medical. Yeah.
Wait, above average or groundbreaking? Because they're both kind of the same, right?
No, not necessarily. Groundbreaking is more of the it's bold and it's brave. It's never been done before. Above average is like, ah, it's just a mundane stuff, the same old
Yeah,
thing, you
I
know.
mean, I would definitely like be okay with that because it's sort
Really?
of like, yeah, yeah, it's. I feel like you said, like it can be an art or it can be a commodity. Gaming, your career, etc. You can try to achieve greatness in it. And like a lot of people are told to strive to achieve that greatness, but the thing is, like, it comes at a great cost
Oh yeah.
and like
Yeah.
statistically speaking, a lot of people will be statistically happy just with mediocrity. And like with mediocrity, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's sort of like, it gives you the ability to like, look into other aspects of your life. You don't define yourself by your career or your work. You get to like, do other stuff. So like, I've seen a lot of people go down that route where they think that I have to be the best at X in order to find my worth in society, and then they realize that once they get there they're still 16 years old mentally and like they haven't grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I understand like why they're just like, look, statistically speaking, mediocrity is not necessarily a bad thing.
I,
That's kind of like why the zoomers play those games over the phone. It like you said, the games don't last. It's not kept around for long, but it's a high turnover. They get bored, they move on to the next thing.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, keep yourself entertained until you die, right?
Yeah, it's the dopamine hit, boys. It's the dopamine hit.
Yeah, it's just
My
getting shorter and shorter terms.
my God, Professor, we're starting to sound like a bunch of boomers. My
Yep.
God.
Well, speaking of mediocrity, have you seen the latest YouTuber movie, DJ?
Oh, you mean Backrooms? Oh man, I want to watch it, but I've
I
been
didn't know
hearing.
that
Wait,
was made by a YouTuber.
Yeah, oh, yeah, me too, me too.
wait, was Backrooms the YouTube movie?
Yeah, it's a YouTuber movie. Yeah,
Right, I never knew this.
and
I thought you guys were gonna bring up Iron Lung by Markiplier.
oh yeah, that too. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's another part. Backrooms and Obsession, they were actually made by one was a YouTuber, one was it, but they're both forged through YouTube. But yeah,
Huh.
but they made a lot of money out of it.
Oh,
YouTube. What's interesting is a lot of people are now using YouTube as a creative crucible, where filmmaking equipment has become far more accessible, with many creators using cinema quality Sony FX3 cameras which is around $3,000 compared to your Hollywood preferred projector, which is like $100,000. And many YouTube creators are handling the writing, filming, acting, editing, promotion, and distribution amongst themselves. And Backrooms have ever since that movie premiered, it has gotten $81 million in box office.
On what
$81
budget?
million. dollars.
It is beaten like the Mandalorian Grogu.
Yeah. I think though Obsession also beat Mandalorian, didn't they?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's crossed the $100 million mark domestically. And when I say domestically, I meant the American mark.
That's
Yeah.
nice, actually, seeing some indies do better than an established series.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was one of the first times in like 20 years that a movie broke its own record from the opening day.
One producer compares YouTube to what Sundance was in the 90s as a talent incubator. Industry figures note that creators have a constant feedback loop with their audiences, building deep trust with their fan bases, which then translate into opening weekend turnout. But well, what do you reckon, guys? You reckon YouTubers have become are going to become the next Scorsese and
That's kind of been
Coppola?
going on for a while, right? Like even when you go back to like fucking old school YouTube, you would see like the guys from Smosh or Team Awesome try to create their own production company and
Yeah.
kind of bumble their way forward. Some of them make it out. Like you look at Lily Singh, she used to be a YouTuber. She had a couple of shows on like prime time that popped up during COVID. Didn't really go too far, but still like you know, I think it's always been a thing. People always think when they start off on YouTube, they use this as a, like a springboard to something bigger, and then they kind of get stuck in it.
Hmm.
And then when you try to go out, you realize that the two mediums might not be as compatible as you think.
Yeah. And the crazy part is with the types of stories the movies have been based on. Backroom, for example, is a creepy pasta movie. It's based off a creepy pasta. That's insane.
That is hilarious.
I know.
Yeah, how does that work for IP rights? Because one of the
Oh
problems with SCP, the reason you can't make a paid SCP is because the rights to all of the SCPs belong to the original author, and they are all over the place.
But is that like better for you? It's sort of like kind of just diluted in such a way that it's almost impossible to find someone with the intellectual property.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Does the original Backrooms author get any money out of this movie?
Oh, 100% zero, none.
huh. That's gonna be
It's sort of
what's up.
like, I don't know. I feel like when you post your story on like these forums, you would be kind of foolish to believe that you'd be the only one keeping that IP. You've kind of shared it already.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like fan fictions and stuff?
Yeah, like, Twilight was essentially a fan fiction. Like if somebody came up and like tried to sue Stephanie Meyer for vampires versus werewolves, you're like saws. Like
I mean, if I
What's even
recall
weirder,
correct,
though,
yeah.
50 Shades of Grey is a fan fiction
mhm.
of Twilight.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say that. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Christ.
Do you reckon it's interesting how it's horror movies that's trending really well, like with Iron Lung, with Backrooms, and with Obsession. Can you see this YouTuber movie making spread to like sci-fi fantasy and action?
Well, I think that horror has always punched above its weight. You can make a horror movie on a really small budget and
Yeah,
get
you
away with
can't say
it
the
for
same
some
with
reason.
action.
So I
But
think people expect better writing from other genres.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
but also at the same time, I don't know if you guys noticed, like there was a good 10 to 20-year gap between horror being an actually serious genre.
Oh
Like
yeah.
in the last 20 years, like what was horror? Saw, a Final Destination. It's just tacky, but no one actually felt scared.
Nah. Then we had
It has been a minute.
then we had the exorcism movies that came out of the woodwork, and then what were the other one? There was also
Paranormal Activity.
oh yeah, yeah, that one. Fuck, man. That
Paranormal
was
Activity, Cloverfield.
oh shit.
Even the
Oh
original Saw was very low budget.
yeah, yeah. Launched a lot. That launched James Wan's to a degree. You're like, wow. It also makes you wonder though, how much of these films' success comes from quality versus bringing a built-in.
Oh, no doubt. These franchises just keep their audiences.
Yeah, they must, because otherwise, why would they make like 50 paranormal activity movies?
Oh yeah, yeah. I always thought they made it because it was it's the story, like finish the damn story.
Did they
Yeah.
ever?
Um,
Isn't there a Toy Story 5 coming out?
yeah.
Yep.
How many times are you gonna finish that story?
Oh my god, don't get me started on that one.
The only good thing about 4 was the suicidal fork.
I didn't
Oh,
know that was a thing.
Yeah, there's one of the characters in Toy Story 4 is a plastic fork with a pipe cleaner wrapped around his arms and a face drawn on him with some googly eyes. His name's Forky, and he spends half the
Wait.
movie trying to throw himself away because he believes he's garbage.
Jesus Christ.
It's not as dark as it sounds.
I don't know, man.
Not nearly as dark as the edit of Toy Story 3, where somebody cut it and rolled credits at the scene where they fall into the incinerator.
Oh yeah,
No.
I remember
No.
that.
Yeah, and they showed it to their family and got to that scene and it cuts the credits. And the family are just like, no!
It's like that one suicidal Squidward edit.
Wait,
I'm
what?
pretty sure that was based on a creepypasta too.
Yup. Exactly.
Dude, oh man, I wonder how many. If I recall correctly, there was a Slender Man movie.
No, there already was. Yeah, it was filmed.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that was
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, 2018. All right,
Which
that
is
was.
crazy. That was 6 years after Slenderman was a thing.
Wasn't there also like wasn't there also an attempted murder case based on that whole thing?
I think it was an actual murder.
Oh,
A
it got up.
teenage girl murdered her friend and then said Slenderman told me to do it.
No,
Wait, two girls murdered her friend, right?
no, it wasn't murder. The girl survived.
Jesus.
Yeah, the Slender. Yeah, I'm looking at the Slender Man stabbing. Yeah.
That is a Wikipedia link I never thought I would see.
But that's gonna be interesting with 4chan coming up with all these like creepy pastas. Who is 4chan itself gonna be the profit? Is gonna get the profit or?
No,
I don't think so.
4chan. Well, that's an interesting thing. What's 4chan's EULA say? Because I know on Reddit, technically everything you write belongs to Reddit.
Yeah, I heard about
So
that.
what about 4chan?
Okay,
No,
I'm looking at Google right. I typed out 4chan EULA on Google AI. It's saying 4chan does not have a traditional EULA because it does not require user registration and is largely an anonymous image. Instead, the platform is governed by a publicly accessible 4chan rules and 4chan terms of service. So there is no EULA. Although it makes you wonder, though, now with the success of both of those movies, are we going to see more YouTubers becoming filmmakers? Like, is YouTube going to be the modern equivalent of films?
I think it's a good way for some people to get a portfolio going so that they can have something to present when they go to a studio.
Yeah. What do you reckon the advantages are going to be for the YouTube creators over traditional filmmakers?
I think the traditional filmmaking school kind of teaches you to upload everything onto. It's unrealistic to incorporate YouTube in modern filmmaking.
Yeah, yeah. What's gonna be wild is now that AI is coming into the field. Are we gonna see AI using AI as well?
Oof. I know a
Well, it
lot of
feels
people
like I'm
already
the only
do that
one
with
not using.
their
Oh,
thumbnails.
oh yeah, yeah. What you were saying, Professor?
I feels like I'm the only one not using AI.
Although,
But
okay, could you see it? Could you see it? Make independent filmmaking even cheap? I mean,
not
look
yet.
at not yet.
No, the context window is too short. And if you can't make a movie generating 10 seconds of footage at a time and hoping it matches,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't believe it's possible with the current level.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess the future Oscar winners will be just bunch of meme creators and horror YouTubers then, hey?
Oh, we're talking about Timothy Chalamet.
Oh no. Can you imagine Logan Paul becoming an Oscar winner because he created a horror movie on YouTube?
Please
Yeah, I
don't
don't.
put that into the world.
That's the that's another interesting thing. Like before Iron Lung and all these YouTubers, there've already been YouTuber movies in the beginning. Like when when YouTube Red was a thing, you can look into people's YouTubers movies in that area, and there was a lot of Logan Paul and Jake Paul movies there. Trust me.
Yeah, that was a weird time, though. Trying to be higher budget YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should move on with our shoutouts for this week.
Yep.
We have on the 2nd of June this year, Peebo Bryson, the R&B singer of Beauty and the Beast and Whole New World, dying at 75.
Ah, a whole new world. Ah, he's dead.
Yeah, don't give it me that.
Oh, come on! Come on. Where's your sense of wonder, hey? Where's your sense of
You
wonder?
killed it.
Yeah,
Bryson began singing professionally at the age of 14 by joining Al Freeman and the Upsetters. 2 years later, he left home to tour the Chitlin circuit with a local band, Moses Dillard and the Textown Display. During a recording session at Atlanta's Bang Records, he caught the ear of the label's general manager, Eddie Bisco. Bisco signed him, and the rest is history. And on the what is our messed up moment this week, DJ?
Glad you asked. You guys ever remember the Top Gun?
Yep.
Okay.
I've never seen it, but I know the memes and the plot. And I've picked that up.
Oh. Anyways, we've known all the set disasters that can go wrong, and if a stunt goes wrong, someone dies, right? Now in Top Gun, there was a famous incident with one of the most famous stunt pilots was Arch Scholl, who contributed the area of photography and stunt work to all kinds of films and TV shows, including The Right Stuff and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Naturally, a film like Top Gun was a natural fit for his particular skill set, but sadly, the 1986 Tom Cruise military action movie would be his last. While filming his Pitts 2 S2 camera plane as part of an aerial stunt sequence, Scholl was unable to maintain altitude after performing a spin maneuver. Reportedly, his final words were, and I quote, "I have a problem. I have a real problem." Scholl's plane crashed in the sea and was never recovered, so it remains a mystery to this day as to what went wrong.
Yeah,
Oof.
poor guy. I have
Yeah.
heard that the most common words on the at the end of a black box recording are "oh shit."
That's wild.
So, our wacky movie this week came out on the 3rd of June 1983, and it was The Man with Two Brains. Written by and directed by Carl Reiner, it starred Steve Martin, Kathleen Turner, and David Warner. And the plot is that a brain surgeon marries a femme fatale whose life he saved, causing his life to turn upside down. Things go even more awry when he falls in love with a telepathic brain.
Hey, it was the 80s, okay? The 80s had some wild movies.
Yeah, this sci-fi comedy love triangle thing reminds me of another movie called Electric Dreams, which is about a guy who spills wine on his computer, causing it to become sentient, and it falls in love with his neighbor, who he is also in love.
Nice.
Kathleen Turner once said that after Body Heat, she got a lot of offers, but none of the films were good enough. She chose The Man with Two Brains because it was a comedy and the character was so outrageous. It wasn't a run-of-the-mill token female role. And this movie was referenced by the Adventures of Superman comics with a character, the word bringer. Is the last name of Steve Martin's character.
Oh my god, I know the name is so wild.
I feel like I should have looked up a pronunciation guide.
This plot also reminds me of, I don't know whether you guys ever remembered the Siri craze when
What people were in this theory.
people were really deep into Siri, like there were even Siri marriages, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
At Siri weddings, man.
Yeah, so the movie was also the origin of the phrase scum queen.
Never heard of that phrase.
Neither have I.
We should bring it back.
Yeah, you're a real scum queen, DJ.
Oh, likewise, Professor. Likewise, scum.
Well, that's all we have for this week. Where can those scum queens out there find us, DJ?
They can find us on Instagram, Facebook, any social media, Spotify, and other audio platforms. They can find us on YouTube as well. They can also watch us on Twitch, where we play games and banter at times, and scream at monsters and go into bloodlust.
All right, stay hydrated, scum queens.
Hey, stay happy, stay nerdy, some scum queens.